Well, hello there and welcome into your practice on the platform of Studio B. My name is Jyoti Bainey and this is approximately a 30-minute flow-based practice. And today we're going to talk about unapologetically taking up our space. And so with that in mind, we're going to start standing in our practice today near the front of the mat. So making your way there. And as we find our mountain pose or Tadasana, let's go ahead, welcome in taking up our space and take the feet about the width of the mat. So you're feeling broad, you're feeling expansive and really grounded. And then just let the arms lengthen alongside the body and close the eyes. As we talk about this concept of taking up your space, we recognize that our yoga practice is a place where we can bring everything to the table. Whatever is with us in the moment, whether it's anxiety or joy, fear or happiness, uncertainty or pleasure, all of it can be here in this space on our yoga mats. And so as you take a couple more breaths here in this really expansive mountain pose, feel the breath inflating the body, as if the breath itself is taking up all of the space in the interior of your body. And then we're going to start to move very gently here. So let's drop the chin towards the chest, really lengthening out through the back of the neck. I'm just enjoying that. Sometimes we, the head weighs, 8 or 9 pounds. We hold it up all day long. And then let's sweep the chin over the right shoulder. So you're looking over to your right and you might feel a little bit of a gentle, or maybe it's not so gentle, stretch on the left side of the neck, and just breathe with that. And just maybe feeling like through the breath, you're opening up more space through the left side of the neck. And then keep looking over to the right, but sweep your right arm out and up on an inhale. Still looking to your right, start to lean your torso to the left into this lateral bend. And in the practice today, we're going to be exploring the 6 major movements of the spine, which is lateral bending, folding forward and back, and twisting from side to side. Take one more inhale here. And then as you exhale, start to float out of that. Still looking over that right shoulder. Inhale, last inhale. Exhale, drop the chin to the chest. We'll take a full breath here, again, releasing the back of the neck. Feel the feet pushing down as if you're pushing the earth away. And then start to sweep your chin over your left shoulder, maybe feeling a stretch through the right side of the neck. You might feel some awareness in the core here as you support the central trunk of the body. And then keep looking over that left shoulder. Sweep that left arm out and up on an inhale and start to laterally bend to your right. Maybe you feel this through the rib cage, maybe it's through the waist. I'm just noticing, how does it feel to welcome in a little bit more spaciousness through the sides of the body? Last inhale here. Exhale, floating out and up. And again, dropping the chin to the chest for just one final breath, releasing the back of the neck, just letting the head sort of dangle here. As you inhale, lift your head back up to neutral and just heel toe your feet underneath you in a more traditional mountain pose. The big toes don't have to touch, but approximately underneath the hips. And let's take 3 half salutations. Inhale, sweep those arms out and up, starting to build a flow here. Exhale, fold over the legs. Let's bring the fingertips to the shins. Inhale, lift up tabletop spine. Exhale, dropping in and folding. And then really taking up all of our space, sweeping out and all the way up, and bringing the palms of the hands together. Let's do 2 more of those. Inhale, getting really expansive, both with the body and the breath. And then wide arms as you fold forward. Fingertips to shins. Let's pull the heart forward as we push the thighs back. And then drop in, crown of the head heavy. And then again, unapologetically taking up that space, sweeping the arms out and up. And palms of the hands bring it in towards the heart center. One more time. Out and up, broad, expansive. Swan dive, folding it forward. Inhale, find that long tabletop. Exhale, releasing, dropping in. Inhale, sweeping arms out and up. Exhale, bring those palms in. Let's shift this into Surya Namaskaram, sun salutations. Inhale, lengthen those arms. 3 rounds today. Exhale, bring the palms in towards heart center. This is position 1. Sweep those arms forward, up and back. You're in position 2. And then hinging at the waist, folding forward into position 3. Take that left foot to the back of your space, lower the left knee down, walk the hands up the right thigh. You could stay right here for some stability, or let's start to explore reaching up and down. So this feeling of, we don't need to take it into a back bend, just nice, clean axial extension, energy up and energy down. And then feeling the body sort of suspended in between that effort. Let's take this once more into a lateral bend. Take that right arm, drop it alongside you, and start to lean to your right. And you might find that the fingertips of that right hand naturally find the floor, but that's just an after effect of this leaning. It's not necessarily the objective. Take one more inhale here. And then exhale, coming out of that, reach both arms up, hands down, step it back, position 5, downward facing. Bring in the breath, full inhale. Exhale, lower knees, chest and chin, Ashtangasana. Slide to the belly, lift up cobra. Rock it back, downward facing. Stepping forward, left foot forward, right knee down, walking the hands up the left thigh. And then again, hands could stay right here, or you could reach them up. Nice, beautiful axial extension, feeling energy up through the arms, down through the pelvis and the legs. And then you're just suspended in between this effort. Just balanced perfectly in the pose. And we'll start to explore the space to the side. Left arm comes down, and then we're not really reaching for the floor. We're just laterally bending, and maybe the fingertips find the floor naturally. They just land there without reaching, without striving. It's just where you land in the pose. Sometimes in yoga, we think that yoga is all about, happiness, joy, positivity, love and light. Sweep the arms out and up. And it is about those things. Hands down, step the right foot forward, fold in. But it's about so much more than that as well. Let's circle sweep those arms out, up and back, position 11. And bring the palms of the hands together, 12. 2 more sun salutations. Let's pick up a little speed. Inhale. Exhale, palms together, 1. We're not rushing the breath. We're just keeping that cadence. 2. Folding 3. Right foot back, right heel down. We're going to find warrior 2 here. Windmill the arms up. Find that nice, broad, expansive, spacious, wide warrior 2. So here, in our last round, we were thinking up and down. Now we're thinking side to side, horizontally, opening up, getting really expansive and broad, being unapologetic about, I may bring love and light and positivity to the table, but I also may experience uncertainty and fear and anger because I'm human, and that's part of me too. Flip the left palm, lean back, straighten your left leg, and open up the left side of the body. As you push the floor away from you, maybe that frees up a little bit more spaciousness to lean back. And then windmill the arms down, step it back, downward facing dog. Listen carefully here for the Vinyasa pattern. Shift forward to plank pose, and then lower the knees to the mat and untuck the toes. You're in a half plank. Notice my hips are not tented. My hips are now in a straight diagonal line from the crown of my head down to my knees. 3 chaturangas here. Inhale, broaden your collarbones. Exhale, lower just until the shoulders are in line with the elbows. Push the floor away. 2 more like that. You've got this. Halfway lower. 1 more. Inhale. All the way to the floor this time. Find your cobra and shift it back downward facing. Stepping to the front of your mat. Left heel finds the mat. Windmill it up and open, and you find that broad, expansive, horizontal Warrior Two shape. And so much of this concept of taking up your space is not hiding parts of yourself. Recognizing that when I show up authentically and fully in the moment, sometimes it's not always love and light and rainbows and unicorns. Sometimes it's the tough stuff. And that's part of taking up our space as well. Flip the right palm as you lean back, straighten the right leg, lean back. Look at that beautiful, expansive, big pose. And then windmill it down. Step your left foot forward to meet your right, finding that nice Uttanasana. Circle sweep those arms out and up and back. And then seal that out. We've got one more round of sun salutations. Here we go. Keep it flowing. Inhale. How's that breath? Palms of the hands together. Exhale. Inhaling 2. Folding 3. Taking that left foot back, left heel down, lift up to what I call warrior 1.5. So it's like if you came to warrior 1 and then you pivot the torso halfway so that the chest is facing the front left corner of your mat. Take one inhale here, reaching up, pushing down. Now take the hands behind you. Either stack the hands on your low back, hold on to opposite elbows, or interlace your fingers, drop your knuckles to the floor, roll the shoulders onto the back, lean back, and then humble warrior. Let the right shoulder slide down that inner right knee. Let the head drop heavily towards the floor. And you find this beautiful expression. You know, we moved laterally in round 1. We moved side to side broadly in round 2. And now we're thinking up and down. Down through the feet and the head, up through the pelvis and the arms, and then release the hands, step it back, downward facing dog. Shift forward to that plank pose. You can lower the knees again if you'd like, or 3 chaturangas. Lower, shoulders no lower than elbows, push it up. 2 more, lower half, and up. Last time to the floor, lower. Big breath, beautiful back bend. Downward facing. Stepping left foot forward, right heel down, warrior 1.5. Take an in-breath here. Exhale, either hand stack on the low back, opposite elbows. You got a nice view of your options here. Or interlace the fingers, lean back, open the chest, fold forward. Let that left shoulder slide down the inner left knee. Let the crown of the head dangle towards the floor. And gently keep that left hip incorporated into the body. It has a tendency to want to sort of leave the pose. Nurture one more breath here. And then let's leave the hands to the mat. Step the right foot forward. Fold it in. Sweep those arms out, up and back. And bring the palms of the hands together. Let's shift into some balancing work, don't we? Okay, we're going to work first with tree pose. Let's stand on that right leg and start to build your tree. Now the purpose here is balance. So it doesn't matter how high the foot is. What we're really focusing on is, can I maintain my space without falling down here? So you find a shape that you can maintain with a degree of integrity. And then maybe the branches, maybe they're really tall today. Maybe they're really wide. Finding some expression for your tree that feels authentic to you in this moment. What kind of space do you need to occupy in your practice? And then let's bring this all in, the energy, bring it into the midline. So hands to heart, draw the left knee forward and slightly up. Reconnect to this energy in the core. We're going to take this into warrior 3. Ooh, I shouldn't look over my shoulder. And then start to send that left leg back. You could keep the hands in heart center if you're needing that for grounding and stability. Or you could again welcome in more of a spacious quality, arms wide. So a lot of taking up our space is being unapologetic about who we are. And sometimes that means unapologetic about the things we struggle with. Give it one more inhale here in Warrior 3. And then soften the standing right knee. Let the left foot find the mat. Turn long ways. Upavishta Prasarita Padottanasana, hands to hips. Lean back, open that heart space. Ha. And then fold forward. Let your hands find the mat. Lengthen your spine. Turn your right toes out 45 degrees. Bend your right knee at a 90-degree angle. And then walk your hands towards the right foot. Keep the left palm down. Sweep your right arm up towards the ceiling, revolving your spine. Nice full breaths. One more inhale. Exhale, lower that hand down, walk the hands back to center, lengthen the spine on an inhale, exhale, fold in. Crown of the head reaching towards the floor. That doesn't mean the crown of the head has to touch the floor, it just means that's the direction that we're working. And then inhale, lift it up. Walk the hands back to the front of your space. An option for a vinyasa here. Step the right foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale, shift forward to plank. Lower through that chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Looking to the front of your space, let's step the left foot forward, followed by the right foot. Inhale, lift up halfway, half lift. Exhale, fold in. Circle sweep those arms out and up. Moving with the sequence on the second side. So left leg becomes kind of the trunk of the tree. You start to build that tree pose. Right leg coming up and in. So much of being human is discovering our own fullness, our own complexity. And then once we discover that fullness and complexity, being brave enough to live from that place so that we don't diminish ourselves. We don't try to take up less space, be who we think people want us to be, but we show up and we say, you know what, this is what I have to offer today. We aren't apologetic about taking up our space. Let's start to bring energy back in towards the midline, reconnect with the core because you're going to need it for that Warrior 3, and then start to send that right leg straight back. Hands could stay in the heart center here. We want to really wake up the upper back or take the arms wide. So again, this is a way to be like, this is what I'm bringing today. I'm going to take up all my space. And then soften the left knee. Open it wide, Prasarita Padottanasana, nice full inhale. Exhale, fold it forward. Once you get there, turn the left toes out 45 degrees. Bend that left knee 90 degrees. Walk the hands to the left. Right palm down. Sweep that left arm up, revolving and twisting. So again, moving the spine in all of its major ranges of motion. Legs super strong here. Ooh, I feel this in my right inner thigh. One more. And then let's walk it around to the front. Step it back, downward facing dog. One last vinyasa opportunity here. Inhale it forward and down. And upward facing and downward facing. Lower the knees to the mat. Sit the hips back on the heels. Walk the hands behind you. And take a moment to lean into the palms. Now you could have the fingertips facing forward or back, completely up to you. As you push down through the palms, I want you to lift the sternum and invite a back bend in the upper back. And then keep that, push down through the palms. See if you can lift the pelvis and open that front compartment of the hips. 2 more breaths here. This is sort of like a baby camel pose. One more inhale. Exhale, let's release that down. Gentle on the knees. Walk the hands forward, finding all fours. Take a couple cat and cows. This should feel really nourishing in the spine. So again, see if you can feel the space articulate between each vertebra of the spine here. And then we're going to shift into a balancing, back-bending twist pose. So multiple things happening at once. Utthita Dhanurasana. Take the left leg back and up. Once you feel stable there, right arm forward. And then bend your left knee, sweep that right arm around. See if you can find the top of the left foot. Push the foot into the hand. Lift the toes to the ceiling. And breathe. 2. 1. Re-extend. Lower the hand. Lower the knee. Take 2 cat and cows. Almost like you're massaging the spine in between the back bending work. So there's that muscular activity of the Utthita Dhanurasana, the upward bow. And then we massage it out with some compassionate movement. Find that neutral spine, right leg up and back. Once that's stable, left arm forward. And then bend the right knee, sweep that arm around, find the top of the foot, push the foot into the hand, and find the breath. And instead of thinking about making the pose bigger, can you take up more space with the breath? And then re-extend. And lower hand and lower knee. And take a couple more of those really yummy cat and cows. Neutral position with the spine. Sit your hips down. I'm going to turn long ways. Nice wide legs. Upavishta Konasana here. Before we do anything, take a moment, feel those sits bones on the mat and feel the femur or thigh bones rooting down. Good. Now take the torso, ribs kind of suctioning in, and pivot to face your right leg. Inhale fully here. Exhale, walk the hands forward. We'll take about 4 breaths. I feel this beautiful lengthening on the left side of my low back. This is a part of the body that can feel very compressed from sitting. And so a way to create more of a spacious quality in the spine is to do this action that we're doing right now. And then start to lift up. Walk yourself to center, and just like we did that modified camel, bring the hands behind you. And again, fingertips can be forward or back. Start to take the soles of the feet towards the floor. Push down, lift the sternum and the heart, and see if you can lift the pelvis up. 3, 2, lower down. Flex the feet. Turn the torso to face the left leg. Inhale. Exhale, fold. And maybe just notice, was there more space on one side of your low back than the other? And you don't need to attach any judgment or hierarchy to that, like, oh, that's better or that's worse. It's not. Just noticing, oh, this is what's in this part of my body. We'll start to walk it back up to center. We're going to go straight forward this time. So hands out in front of you. Start to walk yourself forward. And it might just be an inch or 2. This doesn't have to be big. Or maybe you go pretty deep here. And then using the breath, start to come up. Let's make our way onto our backs, preparing to close this really nice practice. We'll bring the body in a little bit tighter for our spinal twist. Let's hug the knees in. You know, sometimes we need to come in order to prepare to really open up and take up our space. Let's extend the left leg to the front of your mat and then take that right knee across the body for a spinal twist. So we can't be big and expansive and open all the time. There are certainly times to return to home, return to source. Oftentimes, part of our practice is this feeling of coming home, so that when we're off of our mats, we can show up in a really expansive kind of way. And then coming out of the twist, lengthen your right leg, and we'll just switch sides. Left knee in, right leg straightens, and then left leg across the body, spinal twist. And so maybe just recognizing through the practice today, are there parts of yourself that you tend to repress or hide or try to modify to make other people comfortable? And what would it look like to show up and unapologetically take up your space? Finding your way to Shavasana, both arms and legs extended. Just a brief, about a 30-second rest here. Enjoying the quiet and dropping into the pleasure of your own inner company. Take a full breath in and a complete breath out. Maybe extend the arms overhead for a full body stretch. And then coming up to a seat. Let's bring the palms of the hands together. And maybe for a moment, just drop in to the experience of breath and just notice, where is the breath in your body right now? As you breathe for just a few more rounds, maybe you could invite that breath to begin to fill out the interior of your body, almost as if the breath was inflating the body. And then we'll close our practice with our closing shlokas. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May the entire universe be filled with peace and joy, love and light, and may that light of truth overcome all darkness. Victory to that light. Jai Shri Sadguru Maharaj Ki.